Okay, no, we're not doing it like that. I'm sorry. Okay. Hello. No. Okay, let me just relax for a second. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we are doing a CAS video, as you can obviously see here. We are with a random sim that I just like took everything off of basically, and so yeah, we have like a nice blank slate kind of thing. It is currently 12:30 a.m. So if I'm a little bit low energy or the vibes are kind of weird, it's because it's 12:30 a.m. and I am somebody who stays up very late. So this isn't very late for me, but it's late enough for me to be weird. So anyways, we are going to be making a sim today, but we're not going to just be making a sim. I'm just going to be showing you my kind of process for making a sim, because it's an ask that I've gotten quite a bit from people on Tumblr and some on here as well, where they just want to, like, I've done CAS videos before, but they're like speed CAS videos, and the asks are basically that I like show my process for making sims, which, if I'm being completely honest, it is not wanting to deal with all of the bugs in the game, so I don't go into like gameplay and I don't feel like building, so I just pop into CAS and then I listen to songs and then I make a sim. Like, I had to like think about what I was gonna do in this video, because I think it just comes kind of naturally in a way, because I think I've just been playing The Sims for a long time, that I just kind of make them. But anyways, we're gonna stop blabbering. I made a very, very, very simple RESHADE preset, as you can see, so that the colors aren't like super different, because that's something that I definitely found kind of throws me off if you're like making a sim to like actually play in the game. Then if you have like a RESHADE that's, you know, you play like for gameplay but you do it in CAS as well, it's gonna look, you know, they might like look blown out in other lighting versus like CAS lighting. So I just make like a CAS preset that's extremely basic, like not doing that much, and then whatever gameplay thing is, like, you know, it is what it is, at least for me. So yeah, the first thing is, I guess, make a CAS preset that's not going to look extremely different to your gameplay one, but also isn't like blowing out their like skin tone, and like isn't like, you know, messing around with the colors too much basically. But anyways, I think the first thing I do when I get into CAS is usually I think I usually just like change the body preset. I have an absolute obscene amount of custom content in this game. So I have like 80 bajillion body presets. I wouldn't recommend having the amount of CC that I have in my game, if I'm being completely honest. I went on a little binge today and I re-downloaded some stuff I had from the past off of like my external drive, and now I'm at like 51 gigabytes of CC. So don't be like me. The first tip, don't be like me. But the first thing I usually do is get a body preset, and as you can see, I have too many. You don't need this many. You probably need like maybe like this amount, just right here. These two rows, that's all you need. But I'm like, something's wrong with me, and so I have this many. But I just like, I don't know, I just kind of feel it out. Like, what am I feeling today? Like, what is this sim gonna be like? What age are they in? Like, age group. Sometimes I just kind of go off the cusp thing. There's like certain things that I do always when I make a sim, at least like nowadays, because it's obviously changed over time, because I feel like my sim style is not very consistent. But I do these days tend to make the neck slightly thicker, because like these necks that they give the sims are way too thin in my opinion, especially for these ginormous heads that they give them and these big eyes that they give them. So I tend to make the neck just a little bit bigger, and I make it maybe just a smidge shorter, because sometimes they can be kind of long. And I especially do this because I like to lift the jaw like this, which is like just when you like click on the forehead here and you kind of like move the jaw up. I like to do that, and that makes a space between like the neck and the clavicle kind of, you know, a lot bigger of a gap, so I just tend to make the neck a little bit shorter. But yeah, these are just things that I like to do. Do whatever you want, obviously, but like if you came here, then you came here because you like want to know how I make a sim. So that is what I'm showing you today. Some people have asked me about these like head presets. Some of them can look kind of strange, like this one. But basically what these are by Crilender on Tumblr. So yeah, if you're looking for these head presets, they're by Crilender. It's Crilender. And they made these like head and face presets so that like your sims could look a little bit more, in my opinion, realistic to where like other than like the Maxis like EA ones in comparison to them, I guess. I like using these quite a bit. Another thing that I do is a lot of like Sims chins are like this for some reason. I don't know why EA said no one on this planet gets any chins in this game. So they just tend to like have this like flat kind of thing, which is very like kind of like Disney and like almost anime. The kind of anime chins if you think about it. Like anime is usually like drawn that way. So if you're going for something a little bit more realistic, I like to go in and just bring the chin out and kind of make it more rounded, because that's kind of like what you would see most of the time. Obviously, like this isn't for every single person on planet Earth. Not everyone has a chin that's like that. This is just like, again, how I said, I just make sims this way, so I tend to like bring it out a little bit more just so it looks more realistic. But yeah, and then usually after this, I usually do something with the mouth. Whatever kind of vibe I'm going for. There's a lot of, most of the lip presets that I find tend to be very full. So they have very like voluminous, plump, full lips. But you can definitely find some that are a little bit smaller or like medium sized. And if I'm making somebody who's like background, like obviously I'm gonna make features with like certain ethnic backgrounds of mine, or sometimes I just make ethnically ambiguous sims because that's fun to do. And I'm like mixed, so I don't know, I just gravitate to that more for some reason. But yeah, I just like play around with the features like that. So one of the staple things I do, obviously, so I do the body preset first, come up here, I make the neck a little bit wider, I kind of shorten it a little bit, I bring the chin out and round it out here. And then, like I said, with like the Crilender kind of face presets, I use one of those just because it kind of gives a more proportional look to the face, or like realistic, I guess, kind of look to the face. And then I just like settle on some eyes. I usually don't use the Maxis presets, if I'm being completely honest. I automatically just go up here and I look for presets that I've downloaded because I just prefer them. Yeah, I just like some of the eye shapes a bit more, but to be honest, sometimes the EA ones look good, like sometimes they look better to me. It really just depends on like the sim that you're making. I don't know what I'm going for though. I'm gonna be honest, like the personality and the vibe of the sim doesn't usually come to me until probably when I get the skin on, like when I get like the custom skin or whatever. I think that's when it kind of comes to me, and then I'm like, okay, like I think I know what the vibe is. You will see, obviously, like this isn't the base like EA skin. This is the Agave skin by Nisari. I don't know how you say their name, but that is the like skin that I use, the default skin that I use. So that's what they have right now. So yeah, if you're looking for it, that is the one that I use. And yeah, I just kind of like play with the eyes a little bit and shape them. Sometimes I'll make the irises like bigger or larger, bigger or smaller, depending on the person. I think I tend to make, weirdly, like if they're very like, you know, youthful and open and outgoing and like that kind of thing, kind of make them their irises bigger, and if they're not, then I make their irises a bit smaller. I also tend to make male sims irises a bit smaller. I don't know what that is about, but I do that. So yeah, I think this base is pretty good. Sometimes I put the lips out a little bit. Sometimes I put the bridge out. I like doing straight bridges or like kind of Greek bridges like this. I just think that they're pretty and I like them, which is interesting because I have a bridge, like I kind of have a straight bridge, but it's got like a little bit of a bump here. And I never liked it growing up, but then as I got older and I saw people with them, I just started seeing how nice they look and how pretty they are, so I like to do that now. But yeah, I do that. I think I also have custom sliders in my game, and I think they're by MagicBot. I think they're by MagicBot, and they're like, I think I have most of them, most of their custom sliders, so it just makes the range of the sliders better. And I also really like this one they have. I'm pretty sure this one is by MagicBot, but if you like go to certain parts of the mouth and you click it, like you see how it like did that? Obviously like that looks a little bit strange, but you can like play with like, you know, parts that you couldn't before, and you can also do this and make the lips kind of have the like where this like Cupid's bow kind of thing area is. You kind of make it go down, and then yeah, it like can change the shape of them. So I really like this. You can also, if you go the bottom lip and you go either way, you can give them a little bit of a smirk, which I really like, because I like, I don't know, makes them feel a little bit more alive, I guess. And I also have a slider, an asymmetry slider, so if I go the forehead, it'll send like one side of the Sim's face downwards and kind of slanted to the side, so it looks a little bit more realistic in that way. So you can do that. I also tend to make the Sims heads a lot smaller because I find that the EA ones are like that, and that just seems a little bit too big for me, so I like to just kind of take them in a little bit and make them a little bit smaller. Not like crazy small, but just a little bit. And yeah, I think I mean that's pretty much what I do. And then I usually get to the skin details, and when I do the skin details and like put custom skins or whatever on, sometimes I'll like play around with the features still because I want to like, you know, I don't know, adjust something a certain way after I've put a skin on. I've also kind of gravitated recently to more like alpha skins, which I know, boo, everyone hates alpha, but listen, you get alpha like overlays and then you can like do whatever you want with them. Like you can put, like, they're realistic, but if you can like, you know, place like skin details and stuff over top, I think it looks really good. Like if we use this skin for example and you're like, ew, like it looks too realistic, and that's fine if that's your opinion, that's okay, but I feel like you can like kind of get away with it if you layer details. So I go to eye details. This is also an unlock. As you can see, there's two sets of eye details, and this is by the same, I think it is, right? If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure it's also by Crilender, who did the face and like head presets, but they have a, it's like a CASUnlocks mod. I think that's what it's called, CASUnlocks, and it allows you to unlock this like eye socket category. So now I have two. One can go into like eyes, and this one is also eyes, but it has like different stuff in there depending on obviously the CC that you get. But I find this very useful as someone who has way too much categories and CC in my game. But like I was saying, you can kind of like layer more Maxis-y looking kind of details onto, you know, alpha like skins, and I feel like it kind of balances itself out. So if you don't like a certain part of it for whatever reason, you can kind of balance it out. Like, see, you know what I mean? Like you can just like, there's always a way. This one's like very Maxis, so you can use something like this that is like more Maxis. Like it's completely customizable in that way. So I feel like I kind of like it. I don't know. I've just been into the more realistic looking skins recently. It's been my vibe. I've also installed the what's it called, the like color slider thing, you know, this thing, so this is usually like not a thing in here. This one isn't compatible with it, so certain CC doesn't work with it, but it basically makes it so that you can like adjust like the colors and things. I'm choosing every single one that isn't compatible. That's so funny. Okay, this one for example, like you can change like things on it, so like freckly, not freckly, and as you can see, like it changed it. So like you'll have to find some that are compatible with this, but now that I have this like color slider mod in my game, I also find that I use it to layer things over top, or make things a little bit less intense. Like if I wanted to put this alpha skin on top of the skin I have right now, you know, you might be like, ew, my goodness, it's too much. And you could just turn it down, this opacity. And so you get a little bit of that like shiny kind of light that alpha skins have, but it still looks nice and, you know, Maxis Mix, which is I feel like it's like the sweet spot right in between. That I feel like most people nowadays do anyways. I feel like most people are Maxis Mix kind of vibes nowadays, but yeah, that's what I've been kind of playing around with recently. I feel like my sim style also changes like literally month to month. I don't know if it's like based off of, I don't know, maybe I'm just being influenced, I don't know, by like Tumblr or things that I'm seeing, but I feel like it changes pretty often. So yeah, I just kind of play around with this. As you can see, like these dimples, they have them in like color variations, and then they also have them in these little like overlay kind of options, and unfortunately they're not color slider compatible, which kind of sucks because I would just make this a little bit more faint if I could, but I can't. So yeah, some things aren't compatible with it, which kind of is unfortunate, but it just depends on whether the mod creator or the CC creator made it so it would be or not. I also, another thing that I do with literally like 99% of my sims is I put these eye bags on them. I don't know what it is about these eye bags. They're by Obscurus. I think it says eye bag 7. Yeah, eye bag 7 by Obscurus. I use this so often on like literally, when I say like 99% of my sims, I'm not joking. Like they're on all of them. And I don't know, honestly, I think it's because I wish I had this in real life for some reason. I just like the way it looks. I think it's very cute. I like when people have it. It just kind of looks like people are always happy, or like, I don't know, just it adds like a je ne sais quoi. And so I just like to put that on my sims. So that goes on there a lot of the time. I like using these eyelids by Northernsiberiawinds. What are they? The N17 eyelids. These are really nice eyelids if you want to get that detail on your sims. They have other ones obviously, and yeah, there's also some by Poyopoyo. So these three here are also like eyelid overlays, but these are also very nice. And I've also been using these like birthmarks or like moles or whatever very often, and these are by Sims 3 Melancholic. And yeah, I've been using these a lot on sims. I just think they're very cute. I like little details like this on sims, so we'll put that on this sim because I like them. Another thing that I like to do is kind of like define the nose area. I don't know, I think it's cute. I also have, I'll show you this one. Where is it? Oh yeah, this one. This is by Sims 4 Nexus, and it just comes with like a bunch of like nose details. They're gonna look a little bit more discreet just because I do have that alpha skin just slightly overlaid. But like if you see the difference, it just kind of adds like a little shadow around the eyes and the nose, and I kind of like the way it looks because it just makes them look a little bit more normal looking to me. I don't know. And then I also have a channel relay that I have also been using because I find some alpha skins have a weird kind of like shadow underneath the bottom lip. So I like to use a channel relay sometimes. And they also have like cleft chins and that kind of thing in here. So it's nice to just have like some variation. Who is this by? Oh, Sammy XOX. This is by Sammy XOX and it's just called Chin Overlay. And so yeah, I use that quite a bit. But yeah, I also use these quite a bit. These are by Obscurus and they're like, they came out with like a whole pack of like nose details and I use these quite a bit. I think this is also something I use literally like 99% of the time. And it basically just changes like obviously like what the nostrils look like. So as you can see, there's like different variations and they come in like different intensities. So the ones at the lowest are going to be the darkest and the ones at the highest are going to be the lightest. So yeah, I just like to use this a lot to change the shape of the nostrils. I find that very useful when I'm making Sims. So that's also something. And then this I use all the time. It's by Peachy Fairy. I don't know what the name of the blush is, but it's by Peachy Fairy and it's like a body blush. So it goes on their like the nose and like the cheekbones, a little bit on the lips, and then it has it I think on the collarbones and like the elbows and I think on the knees as well. And so I just like putting this body blush on just because it gives a little bit more life to the Sims, especially if you're like more on the Max's side. It just kind of gives a little bit of a flush to the skin so it doesn't look kind of dead, because sometimes Max's skins can look like that a little bit, like they're very like smooth and nice, but then there's no like depth, I guess. I think that's what I like about the alpha style the most with like CC furniture and CC skins, is that there's just like more depth, I feel like, to the objects or like the skins and stuff like that. And I just think it makes things feel just, yeah, have more depth and just feel a bit more alive. But yeah, they have like a whole bunch. So there's like for the nose tip, the nose bridge, and the nostrils. I think that's all of them. And so you can like do different ones and like change kind of like how the nose looks. And like I said, like the lower you get, the like more intense the shadow will be, and then the first ones here in this first row are going to be a little bit less intense. So if you want to use those, then you can. Depending on the sim, sometimes I like to use, is it these ones? Yeah, so these ones are by Golyhawhaw and they're very nice. They make very defined kind of cheekbone areas. So I have these ones, and then I also have ones by Northernsiberiawinds, the face sculptor #2, and I use these ones if I want like a more, these ones get like really intense, so you can really like go for it if you're really trying to have someone like snatched and very defined, then you can. But yeah, I use these depending on like you know, what I want the sim to look like. If I want them to have more soft features or if I want them to be a little bit more defined. I think I might be feeling it today though, so I might put these on because those are nice. And then for my default eyes, when I say I change my default eyes weekly, I am not kidding. I have an issue with being extremely picky with default eyes, to the point where I have like an entire folder on my external drive that's just full of default eyes, and they're ones that like I've made into default eyes because I like the contacts versions of them and they didn't have them in default, or like I've edited them in some way. Like it's actually insane that I do this like almost on a weekly basis, but I get so picky of them so quickly. But right now I have these ones by Golyhawhaw, and they are the Snowpiercer eyes. They're very pretty. They're very intense. Like a lot of the shades are like this, so they're very like bright. So I did edit these a little bit just so they weren't like super duper bright. But these eyes, especially in the blue shades, are really like stunning. So I do like these ones. So these are the ones that I have in my game right now. Are they gonna be there next week? I don't know. Nobody knows. It's truly anyone's guess. But that's what I use right now. And if I feel like I want more depth to the eyes, then I'll go into face paint and I'll scroll all the way down. And I will go to this little eye detail. It's called eye depth detail. And as you can see, it creates like a little shadow in the eye. And I feel like sometimes I want that on a sim. Some people don't like that because it messes with the sclera too much for like gameplay for some people. So it's really like up to you whether you would like that. But sometimes I like to have that in there. And then I have lashes, obviously. I think I want to go for like kind of light ones. As you can see, lashes are extremely finicky and they'll always not work with something. So you really have to like choose your battles with lashes because they're just like gonna glitch with something. I don't even know what this glitch is with because she's not even wearing anything right now. She doesn't even have jewelry on. So I'm not really sure why these are being weird, but they are. So we're gonna go and find different ones that don't float because that's also a really big issue. But I want them to be kind of small. Like I want like smaller, maybe these ones. I don't even know what's glitching with that. That's so weird. Oh, you know what? I wonder if it's this. Wait, is it that? I mean, I guess it was. It was the eyeshadow thing I just put on. Like the sclera depth detail. That's kind of weird. I don't know why that is conflicting. But anyways, I feel like this sim suits more of like a softer, less intense kind of eyelash. So that's why I came all the way down here immediately, because I just feel like these ones are less, they're more like natural looking. Yeah, I like those quite a bit. I think that looks nice. So maybe that. And then there's eyeliner. I have really crazy ones in here that are really like artsy. And then I just have like regular ones. And I have so many different eyeliners that are like winged because every single one is going to be at a different place on a different sim's eye shape. So I get like a jillion to make sure they'll fit maybe at least, you know, at least someone's eye. It's gonna fit somebody's eye at some point. So I just get like a bunch. So that's why I have too many. It's because like it has to fit any and all eye shapes. I think that one and this one looks good. Which one do I want though? Kind of like that one. We're gonna go with this one. We're gonna go with that eyeliner. I'm not gonna lie, I don't really put makeup on my sims unless it's like a formal event. I don't know why I do that. Like I just, like, they all have makeup, but it's very like little. Like it's like a gloss and like, you know, blush and a nice liner, and then we're done. Like I don't do very like eyeshadow like the works. I don't really know why I do that, but they don't have it. It's kind of funny because in The Sims 3, I feel like I put like them in full glam. Like I would do eyeshadow and everything, and I just don't do that as often in The Sims 4. I don't know why. Maybe it's just because I'm older and I don't do that much makeup anymore. Mostly just because I'm lazy, if I'm being honest. It's just like too much effort to take on and off, but I do love makeup and I like the art form of makeup. I used to like doing my makeup a lot more when I was younger, and then I just kind of stopped doing it as I got older. But yeah, maybe that's why it's changed with me as I've grown up throughout the years. But yeah, usually I'll do something like really not intense like this, and then usually like put the opacity to like middle, and like that's literally what I do. It's like literally a gloss, and then the eyeliner and the mascara, and then obviously like she has a little bit of blush. The like freckle kind of like blushy thing that I put on her in the skin details is kind of already intense, but I do, so usually most of the time I would use these Vyxated face shines. These are by Vyxated. These were like my tried and true. They still are. They're a great face shine. I feel like I don't see anyone using these. Very, very good. Underrated in my personal opinion. I love these. And they come in really good colors, and if you have the color slider, you can make it more intense or less intense. It's really great. But I have been gravitating towards these highlights by Sims 3 Melancholic. What is this one called? Let me just see it. Oh, it's number 30. Yeah, the number 30 highlight in the Maxis Match version. I've just been using these like crazy on Sims. I just like the way it looks and where it defines things. She already is kind of shiny because of what I put on her in the skin details, so I'm not going to go that intense with it. But yeah, like that's what I usually do. Something else I also do, I'm kind of jumping everywhere. I'm sorry about that. It's just the way I said it was going to be a little bit weird, and the vibes are going to be a little bit, you know, because it's late. Did I put this? What is this? Wait, what is this? What's the nose thing? I mean, is it doing that much? I don't think that's doing that much. But something else I like to do is give them eye bags, so everyone's just a little bit sleepy. I also really love these ones by Northernsiberiawinds, and they are the eye bags N1. I like these ones because they have a little bit of shiny in the corner. Look at that. Wait, this is without it? This is with it. I just like that. Like, I like the way that looks. Yeah, I like Sims looking just a little bit like they're tired, and maybe that's because I'm always tired in real life. I don't know. But I like to do that. So I put a little bit of an eye bag on them a little bit. I always have to like mess around with this color slider because these are all in full color. They don't have like an overlay, which is unfortunate. So you gotta kind of like adjust it a little bit so it doesn't look too strange. Woo. And yeah, I don't know. I just like this eye bag. So if someone's not like super tired, but they have a little bit of, you know, something under the eyes, I just like to do that. I like making them have eye bags. So yeah, I'll do that, or like one that looks more like tired, because I just like the way it looks. I have quite a bit, as you can see. I like eye bags. I just have like a whole bunch there. But yeah, so I'll do something like that, and I think she looks very cute right now. Something about the side profile is kind of bothering me. I think it's the bottom lip, maybe. I think that needs to come out. Oh yeah, and if you have Sims who are a little bit plumper, there is like a slider where you can go like this and like drag it down. I don't know if it's like neck slider or something, but it's like in the dry area, and if you go to the side and do that, then you can like drag this all the way down, and I love that detail because I don't like making plus size Sims and then they just like have like a flat. Honestly, most people don't have it like this, like snatched under here like that. Like I don't feel like I don't feel like this is like that common. So it's nice to just like have this in here because sometimes you just don't want them to be, you know. So sometimes I put that down, and then I get to the eyebrows. For some reason, if I have the color slider mod in my game, it makes all of the eyebrows look like this, and it takes longer to load, specifically and only eyebrows. Everything else is fine except for the eyebrows. Like why, like I have an insane amount of eyebrows, like I realize that, but why is this like the only category that when I have that color slider mod in my game, it specifically makes this slower. Like it loads, like it's fine, like it's not like lagging or anything, but it loads the slowest, and I don't know what that's about. Yeah, eyebrows is something that takes a lot of time sometimes for me to choose on a sim, because I feel like eyebrows, I mean, obviously they frame the face, they frame the eyes, and I feel like they change the entire vibe of the character that you're making. Obviously, the shape and the arch matters. If you go for a very intense arch like this, you're kind of going for more of like a sharp kind of edgy kind of, you know, intense maybe personality. You know, it's like that shape language that you learn in like art and stuff like that, you know, like obviously like hard edges and stuff like that and angles is going to make something seem more like literally like edgy or like intense in personality. So that's something that I use a lot if like I'm going for a certain kind of character. And if you're going for more like soft energy and maybe not as like sharp and edgy, then you can go for a more soft brow like this one. Also like using very like a little bit messy brows. I think I don't know, I just like them. And adjusting where they sit on the face is also very important. I for some reason like, and I also did this in The Sims 3, I just like having my Sims eyebrows be as far down as possible. I don't really know what that's about, but I notice that's something that I do very often. I kind of put them down and then I go into like this mode because you can kind of change the angle that they're on, and I just kind of like adjust it a little bit to where I think it looks nice. And I also have a slider. I have like too many sliders honestly, but I also have a slider that if you go on the side here, it can adjust where the eyebrow angle sits. So that is also something that I think is very useful, because some eyebrows be sitting weird sometimes on, you know, certain Sims, especially if you're using like head and like facial presets. They're gonna look a little strange sometimes, where they sit on the face of the Sim. So I find that very useful. Yeah, I think the Sim is a cutie. I think they're turning out pretty well. The next phase that we go to is the hair. I have, like I've been saying this the entire video, I have too much hair though. I know I have too much everything, like we said. I have to clean out my mods folder, to be honest. I literally just did and I have to do it again. But I have too much hair. Also, sometimes like hair will like be weird with the eyelashes. Do you guys notice that sometimes? It's only specific hairs though. Like some hairs like it's fine, and then others it like is like, what is that? Like what is going on? I don't know why it does that. But certain hairs will kind of mess with each other. So just be aware of that. It's not a great mesh edit. This is like the EA version, and then this is the Go Amazon's version. Look how much nicer that looks. But yeah, I feel like the hair is obviously also very important when you're trying to make a Sim and like the character that they are. Because obviously hair says a lot about the personality of the person or the Sim. So yeah, choosing hair is really important. I actually recently went full alpha because I was just feeling sad. And I feel like when I get like kind of sad, I want to be nostalgic, and so I got a bunch of alpha CC because that's what I mainly played with when I played The Sims 3, and that's what I grew up playing was The Sims 3. So yeah, I went like full alpha, and then I got a bunch of hairs, and it was honestly so fun. I had a great time. But I do need my depth shaders like MXAO when I play my game, because I can't deal with the fact that nothing has depth, and so I had to give it up. I had to go back. But I feel like even though I have way too many hairs, I feel like I'm being a little bit more picky with what hairs I put in my game, which I wasn't doing as much before. I kind of just put anything in here, but now I'm being a little bit more picky with things. As you can see, some of the alpha hair is still in here, which I thought I got rid of, but I guess I didn't. I must have missed a couple of files. But look how cute it is though. Like, I love alpha hair. I really do. Maybe it's because I grew up playing with it, but like alpha hair just is so fun to me. And I don't know, I just feel like it just carries different vibes, you know? It just carries a different vibe. But yeah, we're not doing alpha hair today. We're doing Max's hair today. And obviously like Max's hair has come a long way because it was rough when the game first came out. Like it was rough for everybody. Everyone was still learning, you know, how to do clay hair because we hadn't really had hair that was like this as much. This hair kind of slaps on her. Kind of looks good. I kind of like this actually. I might use that one. But yeah, I always try to make sure that whatever hair I'm putting on the sim, one, suits their personality if I have like a character in mind, and two, suits their face shape, much like real life. Obviously you want to get a haircut that suits your face. Like this one's nice, but I feel like it is too high specifically here on her forehead, like right here. If this was lower, I feel like it would flatter her face shape more, but it doesn't, so I don't love that one as much. I also find some sims need height with their hair, while others it doesn't matter as much, but that's also something that I kind of look for. I think she's one of those sims that needs just a little bit of height. Ooh, actually this is cute though. Ooh, that's kind of cute though. I kind of like that actually. Also, I feel like an underrated hair CC creator is Sunivaa? I don't know how you pronounce it, but this creator, you can see their like name at the bottom of these thumbnails here. Their hairs are so nice, and I feel like people don't talk about them enough. I really like their hairs, and they have these they always have like cute little like tendrils and like the loose hairs, and I think they're very cute and nice. Like, look how cute that is. Like, that's cute. So yeah, that's a hair creator that I think is underrated. I think they make really good hairs. Ooh, this one's cute. I like that hair. I don't know what to do. I think the shaved head was low-key my favorite so far. I also have these ones that are in like different variations. Well, that one's nice. That one's not bad. I think it suits her forehead because there's like hair in this spot. Because I think she needs something that has like a little bit more going on. Oh, that's cute. I really like this hair. It's a little ponytail. But I just really like the shape of the front. Also kind of like this sim in this red color, which I don't use this red color very often, to be honest, but it kind of looks good on them. This is cute. I kind of like this one actually. Should we do that one? If we do this, I think we need a hair detail thing. Like if we go in here, I have a skin detail that is like a hairline, and I'm gonna see if I can put it on if it's not taken up by another thing that I put on them. Let's see. I think we're good. Yeah, these are by Realsim, RHEALLSIM, as you can see right here. But yes, these are all really great hair. Like they're Maxis Match, because a lot of hairlines I feel like do tend to be more alpha. So if you're a Maxis Match person, yeah, these are really good ones. I like using them. I use them quite a bit for Sims if I feel like the hair just needs a little bit of something. I think maybe this one, maybe that one. Actually, I kind of like the first one that I put on. Do I though? I just feel like maybe I'll do this one. I feel like you're probably like, girl, what are you changing? Like nothing's happening, but it matters to me. So, yeah, I could change the eyebrow color since we changed the hair color. Do we like that? I think I do. I think I like that. Do do we have anything on in this category? I don't think we do. Do we? I don't think so. These are also handy. They're by Josh-seoh, and they're like hair overlays, so you can like recolor hairs and stuff. So I guess actually I don't know. I don't think, because it's kind of tricky to find hairs that are compatible with the color slider mod. Is this one? Oh my goodness, it is. But also, if you have the color slider mod, then you don't need that. But if you don't have the color slider mod and you don't want to install it, then I recommend these hair overlays by Josh-seoh, because you can put them over top of hair in all these different colors, and so it makes like a whole new hair color. So you can make like darker darks and lighter lights or whatever, you know. So yeah, if you want something less intense, then this is very, very handy. So that's a good recommendation there for you. But if you have the color slider mod, then you can just change the hue of it, I guess. Oh, maybe. Girl, weren't you just working a second ago? Wait, was I doing opacity? Okay, yeah, I was. Okay, so I was changing the opacity of it. Okay, what? But usually when I did that with other hairs, it would just make them go bald. Like, I'm pretty sure... Oh, I don't know. Okay, girl, I don't know. I don't know. We'll do the second option, which is what I showed you before, because I feel like I low-key kind of liked one of the colors I picked. Like, this is kind of like this color. That's kind of cute. And we don't really have a color like that in the game, because it's like very intense red or kind of like orange, which are both beautiful. But sometimes I want something a little bit more like natural feeling, and I kind of like this. I'm kind of digging this, actually. I kind of like it. Maybe, is this color slider compatible? This is a good lesson that if you're gonna get the color slider mod, you should probably get something that's color slider compatible, and don't be like me. Yeah, another lesson for you guys. Because I clearly did not follow that advice, and most things I have, to be fair, this is like a recent download. Like, I haven't had the color slider mod in my game that long. Ooh, another thing that I do. So even though, like, you know, I do all the other slider stuff, another thing that I do, I'm gonna make her head a little bit smaller, is I have a shoulder slider. I think it's by Dumbaby, if I'm not mistaken, and it basically makes it so you can like adjust the height and width of the shoulders, which I find extremely helpful, because I find that the shoulders that Sims have are very high for some reason. Like, they're all very anxious like me and constantly have their shoulders raised, but I just want them to calm down and just come down here for a little bit, especially on male Sims. It's especially egregious on male Sims. Their like shoulders are very like very, very high for some reason. And then I'm pretty sure this is just something that you can do in the game, but you can like set the kind of like posture that your Sim has, and they usually are set like very like out, and I just kind of like, I want them to relax a little bit, so I put that down a little bit so that their posture is a little bit more relaxed. And yeah, so that's something I do. I do pull like the shoulders down a little bit. I'll make the head a little bit smaller. I like to like zoom out from a little bit away and then see what it looks like. That's kind of, you know, just to see if like the proportions feel correct. And then it just goes to clothing, you know. I just kind of like, you know, figure out the vibe that I want for the Sim. I'm probably just gonna put them in a very basic outfit, because I don't feel it. I mean, like, the clothing is important, obviously, if you're making a Sim, but like, it's literally just choosing an outfit, and I don't think that's what people meant when they said they want me to do this video. I think they just wanted to know like how I make like the physical part of the Sim, like the base of the Sim, basically. So I'm just gonna throw these on. No, I don't like that. We're gonna throw that on. We're gonna give a very basic outfit, because I don't feel like looking for an outfit right now. If I'm being completely honest, I don't feel like trying on clothes, and so we're just gonna give her this, and it's still kind of cute. Look at that. And you know, there you go. You have successfully made a sim. I also want to say that if you're making a sim, especially like male sims, I think I'll probably do a male sim in a separate video because girl, this is already too long. So yeah, I'll do a video on how I make male sims, but you can also like adjust the height of your sim if you want to. I love this slider. I can't remember who it's by if I'm being completely honest. I think it's Luumia actually. I'm pretty sure this is the Luumia height slider. Is it though? You know what? Let me check. I'll check for you guys right now, because I actually don't remember if this is by Luumia or not. Yes, it is. So that's what I use. I use the Luumia height slider. I know there's like multiple different ones. There's one where you adjust it by the feet. I don't like using that one because I like being able to adjust how big or small my Sims feet are, because I am a control freak and a weirdo, and I need to have every single thing tweaked to my exact wants and likes. So yeah, but that's pretty much it. That's all I do. I think that the height slider mod honestly kind of makes things look way more proportional. Like, I think let me see. I think this is average height, but sometimes if you make them a little bit taller, I feel like it almost kind of like evens out proportions more. I don't know, especially on male sims, but that's like a whole other thing. We're gonna do that in a separate, different video, but that's, I think, all I'm gonna do for today. I think I'm gonna leave it here. And yeah, that's how I make sims. I feel like their neck looks way longer. Is that because I changed their height? Oh yeah, it does. Okay, well, if you use the height slider, it does make their necks slightly longer, so that's something to also note, because I think her neck looks weirdly long for some reason. Ooh. Anyways, that is it for today. I hope that you all enjoyed this video. I guess because we made this sim together, I can just, I'll put her up for download. So she'll be up for download because we made her in this video, and it'd be weird if I just didn't, include her. So her name's just gonna be Basesim1 because I'm not changing it. And yeah, this is the video, and I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I will be making another one that focuses on how I make male sims, and I will see you then. Have a good day. The download link will be in the description for this sim, and I'll see you next time. Bye!